Yo guys, what is going on? Tony Merck back at another Halo video, and today I want to go over the controversial topic about whether Halo 5 is going to have, or Halo Infinite is going to have PvP. There's been a lot of rumors and a lot of leaks over the past couple of months talking about how Halo Infinite might not actually launch or have PvP at all. And I just want to go over the pros and cons of that and why I'm actually kind of worried. I think we should just first start off with, for everybody that has played a single player game, such as Skyrim, such as Fallout, such as Red Dead Redemption, a recent one, single player games are great. The only problem with them, they don't last long. Like, they can last a few months, and yeah, Skyrim today is still regarded as one of the best games of all time, and people still play it to this day. But I'm on about as a mass population, it doesn't seem to last very long. You can add DLCs to it, you can add all these cool features with it, and you can have as much content as you want, but there's only going to be a longevity that people are going to want to play a single player game until they want to play with their friends. Now, I know that they have confirmed that Halo Infinite it's going to have co-op and it's going to have all these things, so we know that we're going to be able to play with our friends, and we know that it's not going to be a single player game as such as, you know, you can't play with your mates online. We know that's a confirmed feature because obviously they've got split screen and they've confirmed co-op for it, so that's not a problem. The problem lies with the PvP. PvP has been Microsoft's and 343's biggest selling point now for Halo for years. I mean, I don't think Halo would be as big as it is today without PvP. Now, don't get me wrong, PvE has played a massive part, but PvP for me has been Microsoft's biggest income of money, revenue, and everything really. In the longevity side of things, PvP has been the go-to for Microsoft, Bungie, and 343. To get rid of that would be a major loss in everything. There may be a reason though why this might be a good thing, and the reason being, they could actually focus on making a really good single player, amazing story, graphic, you name it, everything. We could see the best Halo campaign ever. Obviously, everything comes with a cost, comes with a price, and that price would be losing multiplayer. It's going to be tough, really, to really... It's really hard to choose. I mean, like, what would you choose? Would you choose Halo with a mediocre campaign in a good multiplayer, or would you just have a single player game that is just amazing? I mean, it really depends what kind of audience you are. If you're a competitive player, you're not going to want that, but if you love everything about the game, then you're going to want single player. So it's really difficult. What they might also do, now that I think about it, is that what they might do is release Halo Infinite and then release PvP a few days later or a few months later, like they did with the Forge. But again, people have been complaining when Halo 5 came out about how Forge came out a few months late. People just want a complete game, and that is the last thing. I know we're going to talk about, oh, what if it's single player, what if it's not, you know, but the last thing we want is them to come around and say, this is the game, but more's coming, like, you know, multiplayers down the road. Nobody wants that. We want a complete game at launch, and if you're going to add anything onto it, it's going to be fresh ideas. It's really a hard topic, really, to discuss. My personal preference is I would not want a single player Halo game, simply for the reason, the longevity. It will not last long. Yeah, it could be amazing, it could be the best Halo campaign, but give it a year and it's going to be under the covers. I know people might say the same thing about Halo 5, but the thing is with Halo 5, every time they made a new update, they had the Halo World Championships on, you know, they had like all these cool things going on, and even though Halo 5 may have never had a huge fan base, it's always kept a consistent like crowd of people, something that Halo 4 never managed to do, you know. So yeah, Halo 5 has managed to keep a consistent fan base and a consistent crowd to go along with it. Halo Infinite, if it was to only be single player, yeah, you're going to keep somewhat of a crowd, but in my opinion, you're not going to keep the same amount of crowd as you're going to keep with an all-inclusive single player and multiplayer game. So it's really difficult to really talk about Obviously, we've got no information, but we know for definite we're going to be able to play with our friends. We know for definite we're getting co-op. We know for definite we're getting split screen. So obviously there's going to be a multiplayer aspect in the PvE side. But there's just been so many rumours talking about how there's going to be no PvP. And all I'm going to say is the last thing we want is them to say it's coming in a few months' time after the launch. Because that was a bad idea with Forge. As great as Forge was, it just wasn't a good idea. It needed to come out as a full complete game. If they come out and say it's only a single player game, I am going to be excited because I know it's going to be a really detailed, it's probably going to be the best campaign they ever made, probably going to be lots of content. But then at the same time, multiplayer is what makes Halo for a lot of people. And maybe they might release a different Halo game with multiplayer afterwards. Maybe they might just release a multiplayer only game. I mean, you know, with all these free games nowadays, like Battle Royale, you know, like Apex Legends, and like other games like that, have done really well because they're free. Free games are becoming incredibly popular nowadays, you know, and they make their revenue off microtransactions. So maybe we might see Halo Infinite come out as a single player game, and then we might see a multiplayer game that comes out for free that is separate. I don't know. Hopefully they don't make a battle royale. I mean, they already confirmed that anyway. You know, there's no intentions of that. But you know, they could just make a multiplayer game that's completely separate to Halo Infinite. So Halo Infinite is a single player game, and then they have a multiplayer game. You know what? I would be fine with that. I know a lot of people may not, but I would be fine about that. So let's just see what happens. That's just my thoughts and opinions. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.